I never thought it would come to this. Not with her. Not with us. We'd been married for 12 years. 12 years of shared routines, late-night talks, birthdays, anniversaries, and small traditions that made a marriage feel like a life. I thought we were happy. I thought she loved me. I thought I knew her. I was wrong. It started subtly. A text left on the table, quickly deleted when I picked up my phone. A late-night call she didn't tell me about. Her laughter that seemed a little too bright at someone else's jokes. I noticed, but I ignored it. I didn't want to be paranoid. I didn't want to be controlling. Then one evening, everything shattered. I had been at work late, finishing a project that consumed my week. When I finally got home, she was in the living room, calm, composed. That calm is what gave me the first hint that something was wrong. "I want a divorce," she said, sitting on the couch like she was ordering coffee at a cafe. I froze. "You... what?" I said. "I want a divorce. I don't love you anymore." The words hit like a physical blow. I couldn't breathe. My chest felt tight. My hands went cold. I wanted to laugh, to scream, to beg her to explain, but all I could do was stare. She continued, almost methodically. "I've been unhappy for a long time. I can't stay married out of obligation. I'm sorry, but this is the only way." I wanted to argue. I wanted to tell her it was a mistake. I wanted to remind her of our 12 years together. But something in me held back. Something told me that words wouldn't matter. She had already decided. I left the room and went for a walk. The streets were quiet that night, and I felt like the world had stopped spinning. I replayed our entire marriage in my mind, every laugh, every fight, every shared secret. And then I realized she hadn't been the woman I thought she was. Weeks passed. Papers were signed. Lawyers were involved. We split our lives into halves. The house, the accounts, the small remnants of shared routines that suddenly felt foreign. And then one evening, she called me. I made a mistake," she said, voice trembling. I stopped. My heart skipped, but my mind stayed steady. "I don't want a divorce," she continued. "I thought I did. I thought leaving was the answer. But I realize now that I was wrong. I made a huge mistake." I didn't respond immediately. I could feel the history of hurt, of betrayal, of broken trust in her voice. "Please," she said, Can we talk?" I agreed to meet, but I didn't expect closure. I didn't expect forgiveness. I didn't even expect her apology to heal the months of pain. When we sat across from each other, the tension was palpable. I could see her eyes darting, searching for forgiveness, searching for a way to undo what she had done. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. I was confused. I let outside things, friends, stress, stupid temptations, cloud my judgment. I thought I wanted freedom, but I realize now that what I wanted was you. I studied her carefully. The words sounded sincere, but sincerity doesn't erase betrayal. Actions do. And the action she took, asking for a divorce, tearing apart our life, was not something that could be undone with a few apologies. "I hurt you," she said, tears welling up. "I know I broke everything, and I'm begging you to forgive me. Please." I leaned back in my chair. I remembered every lonely night I spent thinking she might be seeing someone else. I remembered the cold silence when she told me she didn't love me. I remembered the stack of papers that formalized the end of what I had believed was forever. "I hear you," I said quietly. "But love isn't enough anymore. Not when trust is gone. Not when decisions like this are made without a thought for the other person." Her face fell. "I understand. But please, can we try again? Can we fix this?" I looked at her. The woman I married was there, yes. But the woman who betrayed me was there too. And they were inseparable in that moment. "I can't erase what happened," I said. And I can't promise things will go back to what they were. You asked for a divorce. You walked away. And now you regret it. That's your choice. Not mine. Her shoulders slumped. I could see the regret in every line of her face. I could see how she realized too late what she had risked. I understand, she whispered. I know I've lost my right to ask anything from you. I want you to know that I see it now. I see everything I've thrown away. I nodded slowly. I didn't speak. Because words would have cheapened the gravity of everything. In the weeks that followed, she tried. She apologized. She gave gifts. She wrote letters. She called. She tried to fix the broken threads she had unraveled. But I stayed firm. I didn't go back immediately. I needed space. I needed to rebuild myself. I needed to remind myself that love without trust is just a cage. And she had tried to lock me out. Eventually we talked more, slowly, carefully. She had changed. She had grown. But the scars remained. And they reminded me every day that forgiveness isn't forgetting. Forgiveness isn't returning to the same patterns. Forgiveness is understanding and moving forward cautiously. She regretted asking for a divorce. That much was clear. But regret doesn't automatically heal. It doesn't automatically restore what was lost. She could beg, she could cry, she could plead. But she would never erase the months of betrayal, the fear, the heartbreak. I forgave her eventually, not for her sake, not for our marriage, but for myself, to release the weight of anger and hurt. But I never forgot, and I never allowed the same vulnerability to be abused again. She learned too, eventually, that love isn't a toy, that promises matter, that choosing to walk away from something beautiful doesn't guarantee you can come back. And me, I learned that sometimes people you love will betray you. Sometimes they will ask for forgiveness after they've shattered your trust. And sometimes the most powerful choice isn't to take them back. It's to let them regret it while you move forward stronger, wiser, and unbroken. She regretted it. I didn't. And in that, I found my peace.